All right, so we are ready to get started. I'd like to welcome our attendees to today's webinar presentation entitled SEO for Local Businesses. We're going to share a lot of tips and best practices. My name is Chris Raulf. I'm the founder of Boulder SEO Marketing. I'm originally from Switzerland, came here about 20 years ago. I've been doing digital marketing for quite a few years now. I do a lot of SEO training, actually in-person training. And actually, just want to make sure the slides are moving nicely. You should see the About Chris and Boulder SEO Marketing slide right now. Maybe Marcus, if you can let me know again. If you can see that slide, that'd be great. So I do a lot of SEO training, consulting, SEO site audits. Beautiful. Thanks again, Marcus. A lot of content marketing, social media marketing, online lead gen, LinkedIn training, and all that good stuff. And actually, I have a co-presenter with me today. John used to work for me, and he recently started his own SEO company, primarily doing local business SEO. So I figured I'll invite him to this session. John, do you want to say a couple of words about yourself?
Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm John, and Chris taught me everything I know, and I love working with small businesses and love actually helping businesses grow. So I'm looking forward to today's webinar.
All right. So I ventured more into national and actually international SEO. As you can hear from, I have an accent. I'm doing a lot more multilingual SEO, and John is basically where I was at when I started my company. He's very passionate about local SEO. Okay, so let's get this presentation started. John, where's the best place to hide a dead body?
I don't know, Chris, like a lake or in a car.
Well, it's on page number 2 of Google, right? Nobody goes to page number 2. I mean,
Nobody.
reality is that the first 3, 4 positions in on Google, they will get the most clicks, about 75% of the clicks. So this is really where the money is, and this is the goal of search engine optimization, to be listed in the top 5 search results of Google's results pages. All right. Well, hopefully we can show you a few tricks or best practices on how to get there. Here's the thing. The good news is that we're going to share a ton of information with you that you actually can take and implement hopefully right away. The bad news is that there is so much to know about SEO. I teach full day workshops, and still at the end of the day, I feel like I wasn't able to teach anything. So there's so much to know about SEO. But at least you'll walk away with I think very useful knowledge that you'll be able to implement right away. Okay, so this is let's talk about the big picture here. This is basically how Google and other search engines see your digital assets. So don't just think about Google, especially for local businesses. It's very important. Think about platforms such as LinkedIn, SlideShare. Let me minimize the screen here. Google Plus, of course, your website, YouTube. Those are all search engines where your prospects or potential clients are, hanging out. So don't just optimize for Google. Also think about those other platforms where you potentially could find new clients. All right. John, a goal without a plan is just a wish. When I talk to potential new clients, I ask them, where do you want to be in a year from now? And then we plan our way back from there. Most of the people, they have all these goals, but they have no vision on how to get there. Like, what's your process when you onboard a new client? How important is to have a goal?
Um, typically, you first need to start off with where your website is, and then from there, you actually execute SMART goals, which are actually do a really good job of kind of planning out a roadmap for your next year. And it's going to be really important to plan each task and continue to grow your business.
Yeah. So SEO, it's not rocket science. It's just like you need to have a plan in place and execute it over a certain amount of time, and you will see results. I guarantee you that. So let's quickly take a look at the agenda. We'll discuss SEO in general. Then, very important, how we're going to identify our initial list of target SEO keywords. And then how we're going to identify our low-hanging fruit keywords. This is going to be a lot of fun for you to see, or actually to know how to do that. Then how we're going to put those keywords to work. And very important for local businesses, how to identify high quality online directories and how to properly optimize those digital entities so that our prospects can find us on there. And then, of course, I'm very passionate about LinkedIn and also SlideShare, and I figured out how to use it for SEO for local businesses. So this is definitely an extra point that you'll walk away with. And then let's briefly talk about how to track and measure our efforts, and hopefully we'll have a little bit of time for Q&A. We have a ton of slides, so if you have time, stick around at the end. Otherwise, we're available for questions by email or phone. Okay, so these are actually real customer results. SEO takes a little bit of time, but as you can see here, the blue line is the current year, or was like the current year then. The orange line was the previous year. So this client, we helped increase organic search traffic by quite a bit, and it also resulted into conversions. Same thing here with this client. I'm actually extremely proud. I think we increased their revenues from online purchases by nearly 200%. And again, it's not rocket science. It's just like a plan that's well executed over a certain amount of time. Here's another little case study. Increased organic search traffic by about 300%. It's absolutely doable. Absolutely. Okay, search engine optimization. Here's the big picture. On one side, we have supply, that's us, small business owners. On the other side, we have demand, people searching for what we have to offer. In the middle, we have databases such as Google, Bing, Yahoo, as I mentioned before, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, SlideShare. The better we can accommodate those search engines' guidelines on how to be found or how to optimize our content, the better we'll do, and essentially the more money you will make at the end of the day. All right. So SEO is dead. Long live inbound marketing. So often I start my workshops by saying, hey, SEO is dead. It doesn't really exist anymore. It's really a combination of content marketing, social media marketing, SEO, and everything leads to inbound marketing. We want to be found. That's called inbound marketing. If people find us through online searches, there's a really good chance that we'll convert quite a few of them into paying customers. So it's really all about inbound marketing, and SEO is just one piece of the puzzle. All right. Those numbers, there's about 250 ranking signals in Google's algorithm. They change the algorithm on average about 3 times a day. Smaller algorithms updates. There's about 3 to 5 big major algorithm updates, and 6 to 8, that's the amount of hours that I read on a weekly basis about what's going on out there so that I can know what to talk about. Okay, this is an awesome infographic. You see the link right there at the bottom. It's already a little bit dated. It's about 3 years old, but I definitely recommend when you get access to the slides, check out this infographic. You will get a lot out of it. Okay, local SEO. These are the points that we're going to discuss here today. There's a lot more to it. But John, talk to me a little bit about on-page optimization. Explain in 3 sentences what is on-page optimization.
So that is basically taking taking keywords that people are searching for and then directly connecting those keywords to the content on your page. So whatever target keyword that is, you want to kind of mold your content naturally to be able to promote each page.
Yeah. So it's basically anything that you can do on your website surrounding your keywords. That's called on-page optimization, helping Google better understand what you and your website are all about. Then a major ranking signal for local businesses and in general are backlinks. People putting a backlink on their website back to your website. That's basically a vote of confidence. Somebody telling Google, hey, look, I endorse this company. So I see very often this is where local businesses fail. They're not able to acquire backlinks back to their website, which is very unfortunate. Then another major ranking signal is or are citations, recommendations. That includes, somebody liking you on Facebook potentially, or a recommendation on Yelp, etc. Let me quick check. There's a comment here. Oh, there we go. All right. So citations and recommendations are extremely important. Then, very important as well, accurate and complete business listings. As we showed before, like the big picture overview, it just helps Google better understand what your business is all about. And last but not least, content. There's no SEO without content. All right. So I developed what I call the 5 pillars of SEO methodology. First of all, website needs to be technically healthy. Google doesn't like when your website, is hacked and there are like bad links pointing out. Not good at all. The functionality of your website is extremely important. Make it easy for people to find the stuff that they're searching for. They should get to something within no more than 2 or 3 clicks. Also, make sure that your website is mobile friendly. You will lose SEO points if it's not. Then on-page SEO, as John explained before, anything that happens on your website, starting with keyword research, meta tags, content, etc. Off-page SEO, everything that happens outside of your website, including directory listings, citations, backlinks to your website, anything and everything that happens outside of your website. And last but not least, social media marketing, very important. You can bet that as soon as you promote a new blog post to your Google Plus company page or on Twitter, it will be indexed in Google's database. To round it all off, you have to do content marketing. It's that simple. So that's a simple methodology that I follow, and it works amazingly well. John, anything to add here?
Chris, I think you nailed it. Those are definitely the top 5 that you really want to look at starting off.
All right, great. Oh, and by the way, recently authored an article right here, down there, what is search engine optimization, and I basically walk through the entire methodology. So when you get the slides, there's the link right there. All right. So Google will basically assign a sort of like a digital credit score to everything you do out there online. If you get a high credit score, it's going to be easier for you to rank high for a longer amount of time. You can compare it to like the FICO credit score. If you have a very low credit score, you're going to pay more money to borrow money. If you have a high credit score, it's going to be less expensive. The same principle sort of applies to SEO. All right. SEO, I don't want to scare you guys away from doing SEO, but it's teamwork. You actually need resources, or in most cases it's going to be you, so you need to dedicate time to this effort, but basically you need somebody that manages the process, develops a strategy, manages the team, drives the process, analyzes data. You need a content creator. You need to have blog posts out there, in-depth articles, white papers, case studies. Talk about what you offer, put it on your website. You need somebody that's social media marketing, that drafts and publishes the social media messages, a little bit of community management, etc. Last but not least, you also need somebody that manages your website. John, would you add anything here, or like, you're often that team, right, for your clients?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
You wear many hats. Yes.
That's it. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's quickly talk about, do you want to keep SEO in-house or do you want to outsource it? It depends. If you have the time, resources, and knowledge to do it, I'd say give it a try. Keep it in-house. If you can. If you don't have those three things available, outsourcing SEO is a possibility. For a local business, you probably have to invest about $750 on a monthly basis for at least 6 months if you want to see results. National SEO starts about at $1,250, $1,500, and international SEO is, it's usually on the higher end, starts probably at $5,000 per month. Hourly rates, a decent SEO person will cost you at least $75, and you probably don't want to pay more than $300 per hour. All right, John, where the companies you work with, where do you start? What's like a range?
You typically start around, it could be anywhere between $85 to $100. Is going to be just about average for that. For local, and then
monthly. Like, what's a monthly budget you recommend?
Average is about between $750 to $850 per month. Is
okay.
It's pretty good to start.
All right, great. Mm-hmm. Do you need an SEO? I would definitely, before you hire an SEO, check these these pages. They're actually from Google. Those are great questions to ask. And again, you'll receive the link to the slide, so you can check it out after the webinar. Okay, let's talk about on-page SEO and keyword research. And for that, I have prepared a little poll, which I'm going to launch right now. So if you guys could please let me know, have you actually done keyword research in a sort of like a scientific way? Have you, don't be shy here. I think the poll should be open. There we go. Have you done keyword research? Have you actually used potentially tools? We'll give it. Well, what do you think, John? How many people in our audience have done actually keyword research?
I'd say average is about 20 to 25%.
Okay.
Started that process.
Yeah, that's actually when I teach workshops. That's right in line. I'll give it another 3 seconds, and then I'm going to share the results. So I'm going to close the poll right now. Okay, I'm going to share the results. And I know sometimes with the Mac there's an issue sharing the results, but basically 29% of you said yes. Nearly a third has done keyword research, 50% no, and 21% not sure. All right, let me go back here in full screen mode again. I'm going to share my screen. And there's always an issue with the Mac. Okay. And sorry about that. It's a little Mac issue here. And you should be seeing my slides again. Apologize for that. All right, let's talk about keyword research. So I do a lot of SEO classes, workshops in the Denver area. Before I started to build content, or before I wanted to be found for, that keyword SEO classes Denver, I had to do my research. I wanted to know how many people are actually searching for exactly that keyword. So I went to a tool. It's called Google's Keyword Planner tool. At the bottom, there's the link. It's a free tool, but it's a part of Google AdWords. So you need to set up an account. I think you need to call in a credit card, but you're not going to get charged unless you actually start a AdWords campaign. All right. So using that tool, I can, I typed in SEO classes Denver, and boom, right there. Let me hang on. There's another question. Ooh, slides not showing. They should be showing now. I apologize for that. Let me go back. Here we go. Slide should be showing now again. Give me 1 second. There we go. Yeah. All right. So Google Keyword Planner. There's a link right there at the bottom. So this Google tool will tell me exactly, hey, X amount of people are searching for exactly this keyword. I know exactly how competitive it is if I were to do pay-per-click. But then more importantly, I wanted to know, what are related keywords that I potentially didn't think about? So right here, this tool is showing me, hey, you may have not thought about SEO training Denver or social media classes Denver, SEO classes Denver, etc., etc., etc. So this is a great way for me to find related keywords that I include in my SEO keyword strategy. And it definitely increases my potential of getting more traffic to my website. All right. So do you know your low-hanging fruit keywords? What I'm meaning by this is actually what keywords are already sort of working for your website. And right there at the bottom of this slide, you see the link to a webinar that I did where I walk you through this process step by step. And I definitely recommend viewing this webinar. It provides great information, really sort of like a competitive advantage that you can put to work right away. All right. So for the low-hanging fruit keyword research exercise, we use a tool called Google Search Console. It's a free tool from Google. It's basically the way Google communicates with people or companies that have a website. And usually very, very few people actually have signed up for Search Console when I ask people that attend my workshops. So definitely that has to be high on your list of things to do. Sign up for Search Console and get access to the data that I'm going to show you here. So once you're there, click on Search Analytics. Then change the date range to 90 days. Google will provide you with exactly 90 days, not more, definitely less, but you cannot go back more than 90 days. And boom, right there. Google will actually tell you, hey, these keywords drove traffic to your website. Here's the catch. Google will, in some cases, only provide about 40 to 50% of the data. They're sort of a little bit secretive about this, but you know what? I'll take it. It's really valuable data that they are providing me with. So I know exactly these keywords are already working for my website. And these are probably keywords that I can start to optimize for so that I can rank higher over a certain amount of time. All right. Again, I recommend check out the webinar that I did about the low-hanging fruit keyword research exercise. John, anything to add about the low-hanging fruit keyword? Like, these are gold nuggets, right?
Yeah, this is actually one of the most exciting processes. Is really getting to see exactly what your clients are searching for, and really have that roadmap so that you can grow your business.
Yeah. All right. Let's quickly talk about meta tags and how to increase clicks to a website. So meta tag, every web page has meta tags, and that's the title, description, and keyword tag. So let's say if you do a search for SEO training Denver, I obviously optimize my website for that keyword. So I show up in number one organically in Google. Boom, there we go. This is the title tag that I put on the back end of my web page. Google took it exactly the way I put it in there. It includes my keywords, right? Then they will also display the web page where they're going to send you to. But boom, right there, that's the description tag. And again, Google took exactly what I put in there on the back end of my website. And I'll provide a little bit more information on how many characters to use in your meta tags a little bit later on here. All right. Here's another thing that you as a local business owner can or should deploy right away. Again, in Google Search Console, they have a tool called Data Highlighter, where you can mark up data in a very simple way about your local business, the hours, location, etc., etc. Nobody takes advantage of this, and it will make a huge difference in getting found online. John, how do you tell me a little bit more about Data Highlighter and how underused it is out there?
Oh, it is just crazy how people just don't use this tool. It's really good because it actually tells Google exactly what is on your page. So you can go through and add your address, add your phone number, basically tell Google where all of your photos are. You basically say, Google, come into my website. This is exactly what is on my site. It's a great tool.
Oh, it's amazing. We do this for our clients, and we immediately see search results increase. So yeah, this is a big takeaway. All right, let's talk about content marketing. Content marketing is SEO. Actually, I recently spoke at a conference in Silicon Valley. It was called Information Development World, and like the key takeaway was that people don't start at the end. You need to have your buyer persona in mind when you develop content. What are people searching for out there? What problems are they trying to solve? And then build your SEO campaign or your content marketing campaign around that, about your buyer. That's it. So start at the end. Here's the explanation what content marketing is. I'm not going to rattle it off, but let's briefly talk about content. Content development is challenging. It's here. I mean, it's our biggest job. We probably do. I probably make 80% with my money with content development, optimized content for search engines. It has to be high quality. It takes resources. You need to have enough time. It costs money, whether you outsource it or keep it in house. It has to get done, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Couple of tips: repurpose existing content. You can easily break down a blog post into several Facebook posts, tweets, etc., etc. So don't just create something and then just put it up somewhere and don't touch it again. Repurpose existing content, right? Then if you have more than one employee, find other in-house content development resources that enjoy writing about what it is that you do. It works great. Or outsource content development to somebody like us, or a freelance writer. All right, let's quickly do another poll here. I would like to know how many of us actually have a blog out there. Let me get to that poll. Okay, the poll has been launched. Do you actually have and maintain a blog? How many of you actively blog? Okay, those are actually very encouraging numbers. This is awesome.
Great.
Wow. We'll leave it open for maybe 5 more seconds. I mean, this is basically one of the tactics that we do right away for our clients, and we see improvements right away. But of course, the blog content has to be optimized properly. So I'm going to close the poll. Boom. I'm going to share the results. Again, you may not see the results, but 76% of you said yes, 27% no, 7% are not sure. This is great. You're doing already something really well. Let me go back into full screen mode here again. And it's probably going to be the same issue again as before. I have to all right. Please forgive me. It's always an issue on the Mac here. And boom, you should be seeing my slides again. All right. So content, please let me know if you don't. I'm on a slide called content creation, in-house versus outsourcing. Well, if you work with an agency like us, we have templates where we brainstorm with our clients. We'll basically interview our clients so that we can convey your message exactly the way you want your content to be, read out there. It's a process. It requires a monthly or bi-weekly meeting, but this is how we're able to achieve great content development, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Um, if you want to outsource it, there are many writing services out there. It's a marketplace now, so it has become commoditized. I've actually personally used several of these services out there. I've worked with some that, excuse my language, but some really suck. It's horrible content. Basically, you get what you pay for. And then other services, you pay a little bit more, but the content is outstanding and you do not have to worry. You don't have to worry about, is it horrible content that's going to be affecting my business negatively. So I teamed up with these guys. They will basically manage the entire process. It's a tool. It's super easy to manage, but hey, what's the catch? You know what? You're going to pay for it. If you're interested in using a service like that, let me know. I can probably get you a discount. It's definitely a viable solution, but you just need to know you're going to pay for it. John, a word about content creation, outsourcing, in-house.
It's definitely worth every cent. You have to make sure it's really high quality content that your reader's gonna, because that's gonna be your most and highest priority, is making sure that your reader is enjoying your content and can be easily digested.
Yeah. So I will spend hours and hours on my content because it's, I'm sort of become a thought leader in this space. And, if I put something out there, it has to be 100% perfect. So, sometimes an entire weekend I will write, for 10 hours on a piece of content, but I've never made a sales call. It's all about inbound marketing and content marketing. All right. A few tips on how to optimize your web pages. Every web page needs to have a title tag that's 50 to 60 characters long. Needs to have a description tag that's 150 to 160 characters. Oh, sorry, George had a quick question. They're called series. The vendor before that I showed, and I'll send you the slides, and you'll see them on there. Then keywords. Make sure you plug in 2 to 4 target SEO keywords on every page. Make sure you include your keywords in the alt and image tags. If you do blog posts, make sure you have at least 350 to 500 words on that blog post. Longer articles, at least 1,000 words. Make sure you hyperlink to other related pages on your website. Add an image and include image alt tags. Place applicable keywords in your header 1s and header 2s. What I try to include my most important keyword in the first paragraph as well in the last paragraph. I see that it's been working. Make sure you need to have a call to action. Don't just leave people hanging once you get them to your piece of content. Make sure it's like, hey, click here to do something. Maybe even encourage them to buy something. And, set up goal tracking, Google Analytics, so you can measure the success of your content marketing. All right, let's talk about off-page optimization, listings in search engines. Of course, you need to have your business listed on Google. It's free. They want to have you list your business there. it will make a big difference for your local SEO efforts. John, a few words about local business listings and which ones you need absolutely have to have listed.
Oh, it's such a big part of your local business, and definitely your three major search engines are going to be your most important. And then you have to make sure that you get those keywords targeted in there, and just make sure that you're providing your user with the best information.
Yeah. So here's the link to my Google Plus business listing. Shamefully, I have to say I haven't updated in a long time, but at least you'll see if you go there, you'll get an idea on how I did it. So absolutely get your business on Google Plus. They recently had some changes. They streamlined Google Plus quite a bit. It's going to stick around. So absolutely you have to do it. And by the way, Google launched a new initiative. Let's put our cities on the map. Let me show you the link. It's right down there at the bottom, gybo.com. Just get there, and then on the top right, check my business. You plug in your company name, and it'll actually show you if you're listed or what you need to improve. So that's another big key takeaway that you should do right away. All right, let me tell you a little success story here about high quality directory listings. So I usually take my kids to, we went to Moab that year for spring break. And beforehand, I did a little bit of research. I want to take them on a Jeep tour, going up Slick Rock. We're like getting super excited. So they went to Google, did a search for Jeep Tour Moab or like Moab Jeep Tour, and nothing really enticing came up that I felt comfortable with booking. So actually, I went to page number 2, and I found a website of this guy, Dan Mick. It was horrible. The guy is really good at what he does, but he's definitely not a web designer, or he hasn't maintained his website for a long time. So we booked a tour. It was not cheap, but man, it was like the best thing that we've done that week. I mean, I nearly peed in my pants. We went up, we went up things I didn't think it was possible. It was amazing. I will never do it again. But then, I started talk with Dan, and I said, "Hey, Dan, he was actually struggling for business, but he has the best service out there. I'm like, Dan, tell me a little bit more. What's going on with your online marketing efforts?" Obviously, he didn't do anything. So I started to do a little bit of research. So I saw that for Moab Jeep Tours, about 170 people on average per month were searching for what he has to offer.
That's big.
He does 2 tours a day. If he can, book 2 tours a day, I mean, he's set, right? So did a little bit more research the following day. And actually, the listing that I found when I did my research was down there, TripAdvisor. 3 people left a review, and they were all 5 stars. They talked about how great the tour was. This is how I made my buying decision. So I told them, hey, then print some business cards, ask people to leave your review on TripAdvisor.
Huge
at
local.
the very least, just do that. Okay. Basically, it changed his life, and I'll get to that in a second. But let me quickly finish off here. High quality directories and business listings. That's another client of mine. We simply added them to Yellow Pages and this directory called Machine Shop Web. And it now drives traffic back to their website, which would cost them a ton of money. So having your business listed in applicable and high quality directory listings, it doesn't take that much time, and it can drive amazing amount of traffic back to your website, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So here, if you're local, if you're in the Boulder area, you have to be listed in the Daily Camera. Do the 15-second pitch business listing. That's amazing. You're going to get an amazing backlink to your website. And then also the business directory from bizjournals.com. is awesome. They have a listing for like every major city. So that's something that you can implement right away. Let me get back to Dan Mick and how well it worked for him. So after telling him, hey, print some business cards, encourage people to give you reviews, it really took off. I mean, check this out. He now has 656 reviews. They're all 5-star. You know, he doesn't even need a website anymore. We went there last year. He had to hire people. I mean, it changed his life, right?
It works.
That's it. He's a local business. So you don't need to spend a ton of money on this. Just find what potentially could work well for you. This is an awesome example that I love to share. All right. Let's talk about how to use LinkedIn and SlideShare for SEO. Okay, so LinkedIn and SlideShare, they're platforms that promote content marketing, backlinks, and social media. 3 of the most important ranking signals in Google's algorithm, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I totally figured out how to use those platforms for SEO. As you can see here, if you do a search for SEO agencies Boulder or SEO agency Boulder, the obviously my website is optimized. It will show up high in organic searches. But as you can see down there, my LinkedIn company page will actually show up often before any of my competitors. So I'm taking away viable real estate from my competitors. You know, I'd rather get those clicks than sending them to my competitors. All right. It also sends me a lot of referral traffic. Again, you know, this is money in the bank. If people get to my website, this is where I convert my traffic, right? So I need ways to get people to my website. And it's just another tool in my arsenal that I'm using to get the traffic to my website. It's actually not that hard. Let me show you how to properly optimize. Oh, by the way, if you have not claimed your LinkedIn company page yet, that's probably one of the first things that you should do after this webinar as well. It's free. You can basically optimize it sort of like a website. Let me show you exactly how it's done here. Add an image if possible. Then at the very top in the description field, put in the 3-4 most important target SEO keywords. Try to stick to about 100 characters. Then the first paragraph in the description, you want to include your 2 to 4 most important SEO keywords and stick to about 160 characters. And then, boom, there you go. Use your 5 to 7 most important target SEO keywords throughout the body content, and include variations like I showed you before for SEO classes, Denver. And then very important, in the specialities field, make sure plug in your 10 to 12 most important SEO keywords. You have 250 characters there. And then, of course, fill out, link it back to your website, your address, etc. This is the specialities field where you can simply plug in your target SEO keywords. All right. So I do write for a website called Social Media Examiner, and I actually wrote a lengthy article about exactly this topic on how to improve your SEO with LinkedIn and SlideShare. The link is right there, and I encourage you to definitely read up on this article. All right. So, John, a lot of people do a lot of things out there, but then they don't manage the results, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are some easy ways to measure the results of your efforts?
The biggest thing is looking where you rank for those keywords, and then also where your traffic is coming from. And you can do that all via your Google tools. And there's a ton of different social media management softwares out there. LinkedIn has great keyword reporting, traffic reporting. And then you can also look into Facebook as well. There's a lot of tools out there that are great.
Yeah. So it's like this buzzword, big data, but I would say you got to take advantage of small data. Take a look at all the data that's available to you already through these platforms. Make use of it. Don't get overwhelmed. Keep it manageable. So basically, this is how I do it for my clients. I use Google Docs, where I have the keywords, I target SEO keywords, and then I measure. I use tools. Okay, back then we were at we were listed at 25. Now we're number 4. This is what my clients like to see. And if you do it over time, it's fantastic to see how your efforts are paying off.
That's great.
Yeah, and then also I use Google Docs to plug in data from Google Analytics, basically, increase in organic search traffic. That's an important info for clients. Or are we getting more LinkedIn followers to our company page, etc., etc. Just find some kind of reporting way that works for you or somebody you report to. Yeah. Here's a list of keyword rank tracking tools. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to look at them in depth, but definitely Webmaster Tools or Search Console is a great way, free, to get your rankings of your keywords. I use Swissmade Marketing, happens to be a Swiss company. It's a paid tool. It's about $80 per month. I also use Moz Rank Tracker, which is about $100 a month. So there's definitely some free tools out there, but also some paid tools that, if you do a lot of SEO, it's definitely worth paying for those tools. All right. We have some upcoming in-person trainings coming up in the Denver area. That's my little sales plug here. Boom, right there. Here's the link. You can just go to Boulder SEO Marketing, scroll down a bit. That'll take you to the entire list. There's so much more, John, right? That we can.
So much more. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, so I definitely encourage you if you want to tackle this. I invite you to join one of these trainings. I do trainings all the time, actually, all over the world now. It's a great way to become successful with this whole stuff. That said, I did a little bit of research and provided here a list of additional resources that I think you should be reading to make sure that you are successful with local SEO. And that said, we are at the Q&A and thank you part. John, what's a big piece of advice? I'd like to encourage everybody now to use the Q&A or the chat interface if you have questions. Let me ask you, John, what's your biggest piece of advice that you usually, or what's the most asked questions when you talk to new clients?
I'd say the biggest question is how long will it take for me to get results? And I think one of the biggest things is you have to look at it more as a marathon versus a sprint. And you really have to be patient. These things take time. It's definitely going to be a long-term overall investment for your company. But the return on investment is just phenomenal once you start seeing the results come in.
Yeah, absolutely. So usually, we don't have contracts. I don't do contracts, but I ask clients to be committed to at least 6 months. Otherwise, you're not going to see the results that you should be seeing. All right, let me see. What are your thoughts on companies like Yodel and their approach to SEO for local? I think they're harmful to a business. You know what? Yes, that's actually, Bob, great question. So I am not a fan of these automated or semi-automated SEO agency services. This stuff takes time. Google tells you, look, we will reward you if you put in the work. It's all about hard work, proving to Google that you're worth ranking for those keywords. So I would say stay away from these automated or semi-automated tools or services. They're gonna kick you in the butt down the road. So yes, thanks for asking this question. Let me see. Quick question from Danielle. Yes, we're recording this session, and everybody that signed up will receive the link to the recording. I'll try to do it today because I'm leaving on a Mexico vacation tomorrow. I'm so ready.
So jealous.
So I'll try to do that today and probably send it out tomorrow before I fly out. Let me see. How many keywords should we optimize for? Man, it depends. If you're a local business, let's say if you're an SEO agency that just offers your services to local businesses, I started with I think it was like 10 to 15 keywords, right? Very locally oriented SEO agency Boulder, digital marketing Boulder. So probably stick to 10 to 15, and then as you see it's working, you can expand your keyword list. John, how many keywords do you usually optimize for?
We usually start with about 15 to 20 per service, and then from there you can tend to build upon that, and it's all based on the data.
Okay, great. Carolyn, oh man, I just did a webinar, SEO for localized websites. That's international SEO. If you go to my blog, you'll see the link to the recording there. It's a international SEO and website localization. I'm actually going to speak in New York, but not until March. I'm giving a full presentation about international and localized SEO. Feel free to contact me directly. It's what I do mostly now. Okay, let me see. What are the top 3 business listings? John, let me give you mine. Absolutely Google Plus, because it's a Google product. And then, I'm a big fan of LinkedIn, right? I figured out how to use it for SEO, but just do a search for your target SEO keywords and see what business listings are displayed. If you see a great business listing on page number 1, you want to add yourself to that directory, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, of course, Yelp, hate it or love it, but you have to be, as a local business, you need to be on Yelp. Yeah.
Absolutely. And all your information needs to be streamlined throughout each channel.
Yeah. Exactly. Let me see. How often should we blog? I was glad to see that you guys are actually blogging. I know how much it takes to create high quality content. So it's easy for me to say, you should blog at least every other week. That's what we do for our clients. We're at least on a bi-weekly schedule. But, this is not the only thing that you're going to do. So if you can blog at least once a month, or, maybe do a press release once a month. We didn't even talk about press releases here. But at least once a month, a piece of content that's properly optimized for search, that would be my recommendation. What's your take on content marketing for local business?
Yeah, so I would say if it's possible within your business, try to do it once per week. But we're all really really busy people, so it's sometimes it's pretty hard to sit down and do it weekly. So definitely monthly is a good target, and just make sure it's really high quality content.
Awesome. Then let me see. Do you think that website tools like Wix have appropriate tools for doing SEO? Oh, awesome question. So Wix, they used to be really bad for SEO. Really bad. They have improved their backend a little bit, but actually, I just spoke with a potential client yesterday. They're on a Wix site, and after doing an analysis, I came to the conclusion that we're going to have to move them away from Wix. So, Bob, if you're right now on Wix, I'd recommend find a different platform. I know I personally use WordPress. You have to be careful with security issues. If you do that, then it's a great platform for SEO. Actually, Google recommended at some point that it's a good platform. So I go with what Google recommends. There are other platforms such as Silverstripe, Joomla, but yeah, unfortunately, Wix, I'm not a big fan of that platform. Let me see. We still have a few minutes, but I think we sort of reached the end of the questions here. If you have any other more questions, maybe one last questions, we'll take that. Otherwise, John, I would, let me see. Is there a good e-commerce site for SEO?
Shopify is pretty good.
Shopify, yes. One of my clients is using another platform and it works extremely well. Dang. I can't recall it right now.
Mm.
Do you know any other platforms that you could recommend?
I say definitely Shopify is my favorite. It's definitely the most user friendly.
Can you spell that, please?
It's SHOPIFY.
Yes.
Shopify.
Yeah. Okay. There, I would say do a Google search, ask to other e-commerce, maybe friends, ask them what they use. But yeah, that's definitely one that I know is working well as well. All right, you're welcome, Danielle. Okay, so hey, John, I'd like to thank you. That was a blast. That was the first webinar that we did together.
Yes.
It's
great.
Man, that was a blast. We are doing more events. I do events all the time, so feel free to go to my website, boulderseomarketing.com. Ooh, and usually I use a discount code called BSM. B as in boy, S as in Sam, M as in Mary. So if you see an event that I'm doing, if you can plug in a discount code, try that. You'll probably get some money off. Let's see, we have more questions here. WordPress with WooCommerce is another one. I've heard of that before. I'm not familiar with it, but Danielle, WordPress, and then the plugin or the extension is Woo, WOO, Commerce. Let me see. Okay. I had a blast doing this session. The recording will be available hopefully by no later than tomorrow before I head to Playa del Carmen. I would like to thank everybody for your interest, and hopefully we'll get to meet in person at some point or again online. Happy holidays, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon again. All right. Cheers. Bye, everybody.